my creative critters, and welcome to Sketching with Sarah. I'm Sarah, and today I'm very excited to start sharing my process, painting something completely inspired by one song I'm obsessed with right now, but more on that later. Today I'm sharing the sketching process for my mixed media painting of a ring-tailed BEEmur. If you're new here, hi! I like to make videos sharing my passion for animals through my other passion, art, and sometimes I make silly animal hybrids, and today is one of those days. If you like animals and you like art, check out my channel, and if you like what you see, consider subscribing. I have a new video here for you every Friday, and I'd love to have you here. I want to be straight up and say that I am going to be breaking this up into 3 parts because I really enjoy showing as much real-time footage as I can when I do watercolor paintings, but the more real-time that I show, the longer the video gets, naturally. But if you enjoy watching an hour-long video with some chill music and want to watch me paint a chocolate-covered strawberry fruit turtle in real time, I have the perfect video for you where it's just that. I'll have a link to it somewhere for your convenience. So for this video, for part 1, I'm just gonna share what inspired me to come up with this critter and my journey drawing him. Part 2 will be the watercolor process, and part 3 will be the mixed media part where I add colored pencil and ink and whatever else I feel like the piece needs to call it done. I mentioned that this animal hybrid is called a ring-tailed BEEmur, and that's because it is a cross between a ring-tailed lemur and a honeybee. Side note, I am so happy with the name for this one. Usually I make the animal hybrids and then just fudge the name later, but this time I think I came up with the name first, or at least it was part of the process creating this little creature, but I'm getting ahead of myself. All this started because a month or so ago I stumbled upon an Instagram reel with this song in it, and the song is called Numb Little Bug by Em Beihold. And I immediately got attached to the song. It's so catchy, and her voice is so pretty, and the message of the song is so raw and real, and I think I had that song on repeat for days, and I still do sometimes just to get into a good mood, you know? It's honestly just such a bop. But anyway, I saw the song was trending on Instagram Reels, as it should be, and I was thinking it would be cool to create an art piece that goes along with this song. The cool thing about TikTok and Instagram Reels is that you can use copyrighted songs for them through the apps, whereas on YouTube, you can't. So as much as I'd love to share the song here with you, I can't, so please go search Numb Little Bug by Em Beihold if you haven't, and you can thank me later. So please go listen to it, and if it gets relatable, I'm with you. So the song is called Numb Little Bug. So I thought, oh, I can just draw a bug looking really bored. But if I do that, I'd have to study photos of bugs, and I don't like to look at bugs if I can avoid it. So the next thing I thought of was, what if I drew like a really bored looking animal with like a really dull facial expression or something with like bug antennas? And then at some point I thought about my lemur animal hybrid, which is a ring-tailed lemur and a ram mashed together, and I draw him a lot, so I've seen lots of photography of lemurs, and there are so many photos of lemurs like almost falling asleep, so their eyelids are like half closed. But the way that their face is and their almost like furrowed eyebrows, I don't know how to explain it, but it just screams numb and just done and just totally over it. Then the name BEEmur popped up in my brain, and I was immediately decided that I am going to draw a ring-tailed lemur with little bee wings and antenna, and honeybees have black and yellow stripes on them, and they're pretty fuzzy, just like the ring-tailed lemurs, and the lemurs have black and white stripes on their tails, so it would be perfect for it to be black and yellow instead of black and white to really pull off that hybrid. So by now I've sketched the rough shapes from a reference, and now I'm going in and cleaning up some of those lines because ultimately I want the sketch to be very light with as little line as possible. So when I add washes of watercolor, the graphite doesn't mix in too much. So as I start to draw more clear lines throughout the sketch, I'm going to share some basic facts about both ring-tailed lemurs and bees. I'm going to keep it basic so I can share some cooler and more interesting facts in the next part for this little series, so get excited for that. So let's start with ring-tailed lemurs. Ring-tailed lemurs are native to Madagascar, the island off of the east coast of Africa. They live in the rainforest and spend most of their time on the forest floor, although they do climb, but they do tend to spend more time in the mid-canopy than at the very top of the trees like other types of lemurs like to do. A ring-tailed lemur's diet is mostly fruit and leaves. They really like the leaves of tamarind trees, and when it's available, half of what they eat will be those tamarind leaves. Or tamarind leaves? Tamarind leaves? Anyway, the food they eat is very different to other lemurs because of the amount of time they spend on the ground. They will eat bark, small insects, and even spider webs. And you might be thinking, you mean spiders, not spider webs, right? Nope, ring-tailed lemurs are opportunistic feeders and will eat spiders too, but they are known to also eat just the webs and even butterfly cocoons. Ring-tailed lemurs live up to 15 years in the wild and usually give birth to one offspring at a time, but they can also have twins. The first couple weeks of life, the mothers carry the baby on their fronts, and then after that onto their backs when the babies are a little bit stronger. The last basic fact that I want to mention about ring-tailed lemurs is that a group of them is called a troop of ring-tailed lemur soldiers. So now let's talk about some basic info about bees. The first thing that I want to say is that there are around 20,000 species of bees. I was over here thinking that honeybees and bumblebees are the same thing, but no ma'am, they are not. All the bee species are unique, and even bumblebees and honeybees don't act the same. One big difference between honeybees and bumblebees is the type of plants that they pollinate. Honeybees are more common around residences where they help pollinate up to 80% of vegetables, fruits, legumes, and ornamental plants. They also love sweet and sugary human foods, which is why there's always bees hanging around the garbage cans on a hot day where the sugary soda cans and candy wrappers have been discarded. In contrast to honeybees, bumblebees are generally pollinating plants that are found in prairie lands. Bees are all over the world except for the frigid iceland of Antarctica, and I don't blame them. Honeybees and bumblebees are the most common types of bees, and most people, including me, base their whole knowledge of bees on those two species. I love learning more and more about bees, and the more I get into it, the more I realize how truly amazing these creatures are. But I think I'm gonna pause it here and continue sharing more of what I learned in part 2. I always have links to the sources that I use for the information in all of my videos in the description, so you can do your own research and learn even more about the animals that I talk about. Next week, I will be taking this sketch to the next level and adding watercolor, and that's when the magic really starts to happen for this little guy. If you want to keep up with me, I do have a progress Instagram reel and TikTok using the Numb Little Bug song in it, so if you want to see what I've got so far with the song that inspired it in the background, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm actually shocked how well my Instagram reel is doing. It's gotten the most engagement than a lot of my posts, so that just tells me that this song is taking off and it's such a good song. Along with Instagram and TikTok, I have all kinds of other social media, pretty much anything you can think of. I have a profile for, so go follow me on all the things. They are all linked in my description. So here I just want to take a second and say thank you for being here. And also for being understanding about me breaking this into 3 parts. I did get a lot of wonderful feedback that you guys enjoy the longer format stuff, but with working and everything, my life isn't really set up to spend a lot of time on videos right now. And I'm hoping to someday be at a place where I'll be monetized here and grow to support myself through YouTube. But that'll take time, and bills need to be paid now. So until then, just know I appreciate you watching this far, and if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. And if you did make it this far, leave me a comment and say buzz or something, just so that I know you got here. Thank you guys so much for watching, stay creative, and I will see you in next Friday's video.